Good evening. Quickly jumping on to do probably half an hour of building and whatever else. Got the drop pod finished up off camera. A little bit fiddly trying to get that last section to marry up to the engines there, but lovely kit. Really pleased I've picked a few up. I'm glad that Games Workshop haven't given them the boot. So there'll be a few more of those coming. I wouldn't say that it was a horrendous kit to build or anything like that. I know that these have got a bit of a reputation. Just take your time, clean up all the parts, test fit it, just normal stuff really, happy days. But interested to see how the new ones compare. I did think about maybe at some point picking up some of the 40k ones to go with my Space Wolves, but let's try and clear the backlog I've got, I think, and just focus on Heresy for the minute. Wasn't sure about the emblems because they've got the old double-headed eagle, and I don't think early Heresy, because the Imperial fists I've got are going to be Mark II, Mark III. In my head, sort of like early Heresy. Obviously, you can use them later on, but I don't know if that's the right emblem. Not that I really care too much, but if you're going to build it, might as well build it right. So that's a great model. Very pleased with it. Highly recommend. It's a bit of old school cool. But for the minute, I'm going to put that one away in the Imperial Fist vehicle box. And I'm just going to shelve that project for a few weeks because I'm getting some silly ideas about going and doing a Horus Heresy event. I did have a tidy up on the desk as well. It is a vague improvement, and I'll keep tidying up and trying to sort it out over the next few weeks. I'm printing off another stand for some paints, which will help. And other than that, I've just put some stuff in boxes and cleared it away. Right, so back to the point I was making. I am going to go and do a Horus Heresy event. I've got around about 24 days to get it ready. I'm going to take Imperial Knights because I've got a 40k army that's already pretty much there. But that first game I did, had a game against Chris, the other bloke on the channel, and the Knights just didn't score well. So in the Knight book, it has a section in there about having a Solar Auxilia little detachment. The yeomanry, whatever that is, Mesny. And you can take 2 units of troops, a recon unit, an elite, and 2 transports. And conveniently, I've already got some Solar Auxilia from 2.0, and I have been trying to do some test models to kind of match them in with the Knights. There's a Lehman Russ that's half done, languishing in its semi-painted state. Unfortunately, you can't take Lehman Russes in that little detachment, which is a shame. But where are they? My plan is to try and almost max out that little squad, that little detachment. So I've gone and dug out the Solar Auxilia, 2 Dracosans, lovely chunky models. I'm going to take, if I'm able to, which I will just double check, 2 squads of 20 troops. So I've got a few more to build there. I'm thinking about going full blown. If they can have an upgrade like a Vox or whatever, take it. 2 blobs of 20 in Dracosans with a Demolisher on the front and and then some Velataris with Volkite. Volkite was really good in 2.0. The axes weren't that great, but they were cool. So, but yeah, so I've got a few more Velataris to sort of finish off and paint. I think I'm missing one. Yeah, I'm missing one, so I've got to hunt him down or build another one out of another box. And that should hopefully, yeah. So yeah, you can run a squad of 20, which I think I'll do. And I believe I'm right in saying that in 2.0, if you put a Demolisher Cannon on the Dracosan, they lost some of their transport capacity. But again, done all my research, of course. I'll just double check. Yeah, here we go. It doesn't mention anything about it in here. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with Pintle or anything like that. 140 points a model, so I think that's quite a drop from 2.0. They weren't very good. They're probably not even that brilliant now, but just taking them for the rule of cool. Capacity of 22. Yeah, I'll take a flare shield, I think. Take a flare shield, take a Dozer Blade maybe, just because they look cool. But yeah, what's that going to come out at? Sort of 160, 165 points. Searchlights, yeah, chuck it on. But about 170 points each. 340, and then I haven't got any of the light sentinels, which is the recon aspect. And then these squads are going to be about 100 points each. And yeah, so yeah, it's a fair chunk. I suppose maybe when it's all said and done, it might be sort of 600 or 700 points. Yeah, it's going to be 700 points, but that's got to be cool to go against, isn't it? A big knight, loads of little foot soldiers, a couple of big chunky tanks. That's what it's about, isn't it? Probably won't be competitive, but that's not why we're playing Horus Heresy, is it? With these, you can take them in groups of 20 as well, but that would start getting pretty expensive. That would be nearly 200 points. I think 100-ish is enough. So, earlier on, I had a little go at magnetising this on there. Put a big flat magnet in there. That's 1 mil thick. But it's enough to hold that on there. And there's a small magnet in there, which, to be honest, could be a bit bigger, a bit chunkier, but that does the trick. So I've got to do the other one, add on any extra bits I need to do, and that one needs the hatches done. The flare shield, I guess. Yeah, magnetise that. Demolisher cannon for the win, and then get some paint on them. I'll probably do these with an airbrush, so that means I've got to repair the one I've got. And yeah, and with these troops, I did many different sort of I did many different tester models, didn't really get on with it, but I landed on that kind of scheme, which doesn't look great there, but at a 2 foot distance it looks decent, and it ties in with the knights that I've got. So that needs, what does he need? Base finishing off, bit of neatening up, do some glow on the las rifle, and painting the lenses. But I mean, 3 colours, he's all right. So that's going to be hopefully where the others will end up. So need to get some arms built, heads on, about half a dozen more guys built, and a load of sand on the bases and then spray them. And I've been using that, which is great stuff. I'm sure everybody's heard of Colour Forge by now. Good spray. Get quite a lot for your money compared to other companies. Right, so that is the plan. 24-ish days to finish off building 60 models and painting a couple of tanks. Probably quite a lot for me. Other people have probably smashed that out in a couple of evenings, but I'm a slow worker. So, I love magnets. It can get a bit OTT. Yeah, in 2.0, these Dracosans were really expensive to run. I did use them in a couple of kind of friendly games in their unpainted state, but they weren't good. Look cool, but not worth taking really. All vehicles suffered in 2.0, I think it's fair to say. And they were no exception. A lot of points. And to be honest, one of my big things for taking some of these little foot soldiers is just if you, I don't think knights are too bad in heresy, but if you turn up against an army and somebody hasn't got the models or whatever, hasn't got it all teched out or doesn't know how to deal with big stompy robots, then if you've got a load of squishy humans that they can butcher and have a bit of fun doing that, it's got to feel a bit better than getting stomped by, 4 big Questoris knights and a load of armigers running around. I don't want to keep comparing heresy to 40k, but that's where I'm coming from. And I did a few kind of like small 40k tournaments, and I remember I played against somebody that had an Emperor's Children army, really nicely painted, but he just didn't have anything to cope with these knights, and it wasn't an overtuned list that I took, but he just couldn't get through that toughness and armor and all that kind of things. And I did. It didn't feel okay, and that's not, in my eyes, that's not how a game should be. I know people go out there and they're into the uber competitive stuff, and that's absolutely fine if that's your jam. More power to you, but I like to think that some of us play these games just to unwind, have a bit of a laugh, not going get seal clubbed or something. And we've all, maybe early on in our wargaming careers, had that game against somebody that, I don't know, just can't help themselves. They just, you know, they know that you're a newbie and all that lot, but they still bring something utterly filthy and try and make out that it's lore accurate and just give you a good kick in, really. Got a bundle of magnets down there. Really should get them more organised, I think. And I'm just trying to make sure that all of the weapons that I've got, even if they don't swap over on Lehman Russes or something, I try and make sure that everything is magnetised the same way. And Chris has got quite a healthy selection of Imperial Knights, and the ones that are magnetised for him will swap over with the bits I've got as well. And now I need a big I'm going to try it with that one. I put a 1mm magnet on this section, and I think there's room there to have something a bit beefier. I'll put that in there. That might actually work a lot better, so let's give that a go. Yeah, bunch of random magnets. Does anybody have any luck with the more Gucci style companies selling these magnets, or is a magnet a magnet? Am I being I always just try and get like a decent bundle on eBay and be done with it. Am I missing a trick there? You pay for what you get. Just give that a minute to calm down. Set in there a little bit. I've seen people use all these, you know, super glue activators and all that stuff as well. Nothing I've bothered with. Again, if I'm missing a trick, tell me about it. Right. Now, I need to put that in there. Right. Now what am I doing? That needs to go there. Yeah. And then put that in there. No. Sorry, that's one of my offspring just coming down to say goodnight. I think these magnets are about 10mm, and they, for this bit that I'm doing, I think 11 would be better, but it works. If this was like big Imperial Night Arm or something, I was trying to do this, then you can build up bits of sprue so that there's something really solid for it to stick on, but I think this will be just fine. And you can always bang a bit of extra super glue in there just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, that's setting in there nicely. So that's 2 demolisher cannons done. Do we do the dozer blades? I guess we could magnetize them on. It looks cool. That's a Malcador that's kind of halfway there, I reckon. I'll do the same with him. He's been magnetised. Yeah, magnetised, he says. Brilliant models. I was on one of the Solar Auxilia Facebook groups earlier. There was there's a guy on there saying basically bring as many troops as you can. That works, and I think that's quality. Proper guard style. Yeah, that's quality. I think that thicker magnet, even though it's not as wide, is the better one. But they both work. Could you magnetise these on? Probably could. I don't know. Let's give it a go, I think. That wasn't top of my list today, but let's give it a bash. Is anybody mad enough to run a full Solar Auxilia list? How have you got on? The militia rules have dropped, and I think they've been welcomed in, which is quality. Again, nice to see some positive news about this game. There's been enough handbags and all that lot, and tears and people jumping on the Kick GW train. I mean, I think I'd feel a little bit salty if I had a load of Forge World models that, you know, you're waiting in limbo thinking, are they going to survive, are they not? Magnetising can get out of hand. My first proper experience doing it was with armigers, and I magnetised the heads, the hips, the weapons, you name it. Basically, wherever there could maybe be a magnet, there was one found its way in there. But it's quite nice because I know which ones are my first batch of knights, so there is a bright side to it. How did these go? Like that, I think. There you go. I reckon I've got these totally wrong, you know. That'll serve me right for. Yeah, that's it. Only missing half the bit. Right, that was number 4. And that's the same on both sides. Number 4, number 4. A5. A5. And then these little high dish bits. 2 and 3. Ah. That hasn't gone too far. Result. They're all cleaned up. These models really are amazingly detailed. I do wonder if GW is going to hit the limit with plastic though, because they're definitely, well, from my experience, I've got a bit of Team Yankee and other things like that. They're definitely on the upper edge of detail and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes way too complicated, but maybe that's got more to do with stopping people casting and taking copies. But I do wonder if they have they or will they hit the limit of plastic. There seems to be an idea that they're going to step away from resin, or they've made that announcement, should I say. And we keep talking about these Titan plastic Titan kit rumours, and people are asking for the Thunder. Is it the Thunderhawk or something? The big one in plastic. Yeah, is it doable? I think every time that they push and sort of they brought out the Cerastus Knights, which shamefully I don't own one. And being a Knight player, I think I'm letting the team down on that. I think every time they do something like that, it's a step closer, isn't it? But I have heard that some people have had damage on the Saturnine sprues, and I haven't seen any myself. But I do wonder if is that actually damage from the weight of the box and all that, or is it got more to do with the fact that the detail that they're trying to crank out in the plastic is too much? I don't know. I do need to get some Mark II, because I think that will future-proof my Imperial Fist army. And at the minute, they're quite reasonable on eBay and places and Whaling Games and all that kind of stuff. So, right, how easy is this going to be to magnetize? Put those on there. Do you know what? I actually think it's going to be pretty damn easy. He says. Do they go in there? Yeah. Some millipede in there. Right, I reckon that's going to be pretty good actually, because Games Workshop have conveniently given us a nice little place to hide some magnets, so you don't even need to drill into the body, I don't think. Depending on can of lighter fluid coming with it, I don't even think. Yeah, see, that could take like a 5mm magnet or something. How word's that? Yeah. Have we got some chonky magnets? Yes, we do. Absolutely meant to be. Right. Pretty happy with that. Let's get these glued on. So there's a nice void in the bottom of there, and that is going to house the magnets. No drilling needed, just a decent blob of super glue. I suppose if you were really over the top, you could, recess those magnets in the base plate, but I don't think there's any need. I think that would be a little bit over the top. Right. Not quite dried yet, Ash. Well done, Wilson. Plastic glue is very forgiving up until a point, because you can shimmy it around if you make a mistake, but you do need to give it a bit of time before you go putting too much pressure on it. Right, decent blob of super glue. Where are you? Bit OTT, but I think we'll go for 2 magnets in there. No, we won't actually, because I think they'll start to pull together, won't they? When I'm magnetising, for anybody that's a bit new to it, sometimes I get the one that I need on a thinner, you know all your polarities then. And it makes it easier getting them away as well. Yeah, sticking there. Does get a bit annoying though when somehow the super glue manages to get onto the second magnet. And right, what I'm going to do then, catch now is you've got to get that into the right place. So the way I'm doing it, that isn't quite flush, so we will pop another one in there. Otherwise it's not actually going to make contact. I think I'm going to have to give myself some sort of timeline as well. So I reckon by the end of this weekend, by the end of this weekend, or by Monday evening, I need to have the models built and all the guys with sand on the bases and primed. The tanks I'll do in black. The soldiers I will do in that. And then that will give me about 3 weeks ish. 3 weeks ish to get everything kind of painted 3 colours. I forgot to say as well, the event that I'm going to go to is it's a friendly thing. There isn't if I don't get everything painted, there isn't like a massive issue about it, but I just think it would be nice if the opponent that I'm facing is going up against some painted models. I think that's just a nice thing. So I won't beat myself up if it doesn't all get done. That's just going to look cool, isn't it? Is that on enough? Yeah. Pop some more super glue in there. So it hasn't got a lot to go on. Just kind of one contact point rather than being nestled in. So bang some glue down the side. Happy days. And then what I'll do is get this other one done. I do need to order a few more magnets. Yeah, a bit smaller. Yeah, get some more magnets on order. Fiddlesticks. Don't really want to get distracted by doing stuff that isn't going to help for this event, but I don't know. Tempted to get the Malcador magnetised as well whilst I'm at it. Right. Let's get these dozer blades done, I think. Now we have the pleasure of cutting out 7 of these things and getting them all stuck on. Look amazing. Bit tedious to build though. Has anybody heard any prices on the new combat forces coming out? I'm praying for £80 from G-Dubs for the solar one, but I think it'll be 100. Anything less than 100, I'll be very happy. That's all going there. Happy days. I've been starting to read the actual heresy books. It took me ages to get the first one done. I don't know why. I enjoyed it, but it just took me a lot to kind of sit down and get that one finished. But I've just started on False Gods now and enjoying that. Actually struggled to get a copy of that one, and I've seen on eBay that some of the Horus Heresy novels are going for crazy money, like 40, 50 quid for a paperback book that was, I don't know, £8 or something when it was first released. So I think, I don't know, audio books, try my potluck in some charity shops or something, I don't know. I'm not paying 50 quid on a paperback book. Right, that's one dozer blade done. They look proper gnarly, don't they? Beautiful. That's satisfying. Ooh, lovely. Happy with that. I reckon let's get another one done. Otherwise, we are not going to meet our Monday evening deadline, I don't think. He says get one built, but I can't actually see it. No. That might settle that then. No, I've got troops there. Where is it? It's not there. Well, that might do that one tonight. Where is the big solar Auxilia box? What have I done with it? Right, I reckon that's my lot for this evening. I can't find the solar Auxilia box where the spare bits will be. Right, I'll call it there. Happy wargaming. Let us know what you're getting on with. And I will see you in a couple of days, I think.